What's going on, everybody? Dan here, back with another Moonshine talking, and today we are going to do a unboxing of the latest order that I picked up from Hell's Headbangers. I'm sure anyone who watches this, you're familiar with Hell's Headbangers. J-Dawg, he has a YouTube channel that's tremendous. A lot of the people that I follow, as far as within the middle YouTube community. A lot of those I found through him. He just popped up on my feed one time. I watch him, Thralls of Metal, a couple other shows. Through that, I found Morden Red, who I then found Eddie from Realms of Metal, his channel, Vincent Crowley's channel, and a bunch of other people, a bunch of bands. I think I mentioned it before. If any of you uh, have seen it or not, J-Dawg's very educated. He's pretty much spent his entire life within the metal within metal community, the metal community, I should say, if I could speak properly. But he works at a distro, Hell's Headbangers. They're also a record label. He's one of the main people of the warehouse, handles orders, stuff like that, fields a lot of questions. Uh, he's a funny guy, very a different type of humor, kind of like a very dry sense of humor. He's also into bodybuilding, super jack dude. Not that that matters, but it's kind of cool. He's in wrestling a little bit, or I don't know how to what extent, but a little bit. I've heard him talk about it. Has respect for what wrestlers do and what they put their bodies through to entertain people. So I give him respect for that. I appreciate it. Uh, yeah. So anyhow, without babbling on too much, let's get after it and see what we got here. Um, this is going to be an actual proper unboxing because I didn't actually unbox the thing because I wanted to wait to do it on here. Um, if you've ever ordered from Hells before, they are immaculate when it comes to packaging with securing. Shipping is ridiculously fast, unless it's like peak times of the year where they're doing a lot of orders. But by and large, they're fantastic as far as a seller, as far as a distro record label. Uh, Go to hellsheadbangers.com. Cheap plug, not a paid endorsement or anything, but they're a fantastic label, fantastic distro. If you're looking for anything underground related, metal and that sort of thing, they're one of the top places to go. And I'd recommend them. Give them two horns, four horns. Yeah, two hands, four horns. But yeah, they're tremendous. Anyhow, I'm just babbling while I'm stalling for time while I do this. But like I said, it is immaculately packaged. I kind of laughed because I was watching Eddie's channel, Realms of Metal. Also, go check them out, Realms of Metal on YouTube. And he was doing a Morbid Sane unboxing, and I was laughing because I was watching one of J-Dawg Justin's videos, and he was talking about the proper way to ship and box vinyl, and they didn't do it that way. So I was just kind of laughing. I was like, just probably having a fit right now if he sees this, but yeah. Anyhow, lots of packing peanuts. So I'm gonna try and remove this without making too much of a mess. Like I say, you can see it's pretty stellar as far as the packaging goes. So yeah, let's try and get this out of here, and then I'll show you some of what I got. Yeah, yeah, they do a fantastic job shipping things. Make sure I got everything out of here, which I did. And now let's get to the fun part in a second here. And I'll just say beforehand, most of these you're all going to be anyone who likes metal, is in underground metal, stuff like that. You're going to know a lot of this stuff if you don't have it already. But a lot of this stuff I hear about through watching channels like J-Dawg's, watching channels like More Red and Realms of Metal, stuff like that. Thralls of Metal, they're all well educated, well versed. A lot of my stuff, a lot of my tastes, probably with a lot of people we consider more normie stuff. I like a lot of, I've mentioned it before, I like a lot of doom, stoner, sludge, old classic rock. I like death metal, but a lot of the stuff that I listen to is probably more on the more what would be considered mainstream or accessible types of bands. That's a lot of stuff I grew up on, the old 90s Florida death metal stuff, Swedish death metal from the 90s, stuff like that. But as the years have gone by, especially past couple years, I've been finding a lot more stuff that bands I've never heard of. I should probably be shamed for not knowing a lot of them, seeing as I'm into this sort of stuff. But it's cool. It's cool finding a lot of these bands. Half the time I'll go check them out on YouTube while I'm at work or find them on Pandora and listen to them. And if I like them, I pick it up. If I don't, then, it's just something to listen to while I'm working half of the time. But yeah, that's good. I'll pick it up for my collection. So anyhow, I've stalled enough and I'll show you what I got here. All right, first up is Beyond Acheron, Vincent Crowley. Vincent just came out with a new album, Anthology of Horror. I have not picked it up yet. I hear a lot of good things about it. I will eventually pick it up. I I don't want to go through Hammerheart Records, which is the label it's on, because from what I hear, the shipping is pretty expensive with it being overseas. On top of that, it's through Amazon, and I don't have an Amazon account. And as much as I loathe the idea of giving Dr. Evil any of my money so he can buy more penis-shaped rocket ships to send off to space with all of his elitist globalist buddies, we'll see. Maybe Hells will pick. Maybe they'll pick up a few copies. I'll grab it from there. But either way, I'm going to pick that up eventually. But that is Vincent Crowley, Beyond Ashron. I'm not going to go into lengthy descriptions of a lot of this stuff. But the next one we got up is Immortal, I believe. Yep, the Northern Upier's Death. I didn't get it on vinyl. I know that was something that J-Dawg was adamant that people get because of how killer of a setup and a layout and all that stuff. This is some of their early recordings when they were more of a death metal band before they went black. But yeah, I'm excited to check that out. Next one we got is Thrash Times at Ridgemont High by Deceased. Everything I've heard of Deceased is fantastic. First thing I ever heard of them was Creek of the Dead. It was on a compilation. I want to say it was Death is Just the Beginning, Volume 3, and that was really good. I never really dove deeper into their catalog, and that's kind of the same thing I would say about a lot of bands. That's what happens. I just, you kind of get stuck listening to whatever you listen to and don't really explore. Sometimes you'll have the money to do it, and that's kind of with a lot of bands. That's what happens. I just kind of listen to the same stuff over and over and over again, and don't really find there's not a lot of metal metal themed record stores in the area, so it's not like you can just go in there and find a place that's home. Back home we have a place called Rock Fantasy, and that place is killer. It's still there to this day. If you're ever in upstate New York, in Middletown, New York, go check them out. Steve also has a YouTube channel. He does lots of interviews, live footage. He has these little roundtable discussions that he does with uh, John McEntee from Incantation and a bunch of other band people, musicians, local people from the metal scene in the upstate New York, Mid Hudson region. So anyhow, it's Rock Fantasy. Go check it out. That place is awesome. And if you ever get a chance, go visit the store. It's an amazing place. I've practically raised in it. Yeah, so that's that. But moving on, just babbling. We got Infidel Reich. This is another Vincent Crowley project. Uh, Heard him talk a lot about it, how he was kind of trolling the cancel culture people in the way that he presented it. But everything I've heard of his so far, I liked. I wasn't really familiar with a lot of Vincent Crowley's project, Acheron or this one or the Beyond Acheron. Just heard a few things here and there. Recently, when I was on a trip, I listened to uh, the Black Mass rights of the Black Mass. I heard that one, and that was killer. Give me a second. I'm working out a bit, but I wanted to do this before the day got away from me. Uh, so yeah, I'm interested to hear that. This one is Midnight Assassin by Sadistic Force. They are a black thrash band from Texas, Austin, I believe. I have this on vinyl, got it from Hell's last order I got. I thought that they only had it on vinyl, so I picked it up. Saw they had it on CD, so I picked it up again. This is one of the best albums last year, in my opinion. I enjoyed it. It's very reminiscent of Midnight, Bewitcher, a lot of Venom notes to it. So if you're into that sort of thing, which I am, you'd enjoy it. So I picked it up, picked that up. Uh, just heard it, and I was pleasantly surprised by how good it was. So I waited to finally get it. It's on Goat Throne Records, which kind of babbling here. That's where Morton Red's new albums are going to come out. So whenever that gets released, definitely check that out. Morton Red again, kind of throwing all these plugs in here. But yeah, another killer channel. So anyhow, we got Last La Dance Macabre by the Almighty Marduk. Marduk is killer. I've been picking up a lot more of their stuff lately, trying to beef up on my collection and their discography. Everything I've heard is killer. I had Nightwing back in the day, and it was kind of funny story. I was, when I was a student at Malenko's and getting into pro wrestling, and I first started meeting all the kids, all the other students that were moving in the apartment that I had, and one was Kid Jason from South Carolina, super Southern Baptist kid, and very, very Christian. And we had to meet his mom because mom wanted to make sure that we were all weren't a bunch of insane degenerates and lunatics and whatnot. And she was hard of hearing. She was deaf, I believe. So he would always have to do stuff with her. And the funniest thing was he was sitting there, he was talking to us, and the whole time that he's sitting there, he's we're doing the whole meet and greet thing. I had a copy of Metal Maniacs sitting on the coffee table, and there was Marduk on the cover. And when she left and she decided that it was acceptable for him to hang with us and to live with us, he was like, "Man, you didn't know that you were gonna have Marduk on the table there. I I'm kind of glad my mama didn't see that." And it was very funny. And Jason was a cool guy. He wasn't real judgy. He actually was a pretty good guitar player, and we used to hang out a lot and just have a lot of fun. And we all loved wrestling, so a lot of that other stuff really didn't matter too much. They he and one of our roommates, they would go see what's the guy, the freaking the preacher, the Graham guy, his son, I forget whatever his name was. They went to go see him at a stadium in Tampa when we were all living down there, and me and my other roommate were sitting there. We're blowing bong hits, so it was quite an eclectic bunch. But anyhow, just another fun story. Next up is Lurking Corpses, Lust for Blood, some horror punk. Some of what I've heard from them was tremendous. Saw a video they did with J-Dawg, one of the members, and he's very funny. Got a great look, good sense of humor. From what I've heard of the music, it's good. So I'm looking forward to listening to that. That's probably one of the first things I'm going to pull out as soon as when I get a chance to. Then I got this, a Bath, a little bit more immortal. This one is one of his solo projects off of Seasons of Mist. Uh, it's another stupid funny story, but I ran into some girl at my job, and she was wearing a Bath shirt, and I said, "Oh, cool, right on, a Bath." And she goes, "Wow, you know who that is?" And my boss, who knows I really like metal, she was like, "Yeah, he knows all that stuff." And I was like, "Well, I don't know about that. I know people who know a hell of a lot more than I do." But I said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, I'm more of a. I haven't really heard any of his solo stuff, but I'm more of an Immortal fan anyway. But she was very pleasantly surprised, a little taken aback by the fact that somebody she ran into actually knew what the hell she was into. But yeah, so that was that. Another, like I say, another fun story. Then I finally have a copy of Hell's Unholy Fire by the legendary Nunslaughter. Everything I've heard of theirs is killer. Um, I've never really listened to a lot of their stuff growing up. Back in the day, I know that probably I lose cult points or whatever it's called, but yeah, everything I've listened to since, I enjoy it. It's very good. I've heard of Dawn of the Dead again through J-Dawg's channel, and getting to know of his existence and listen to his music, and it's killer. I really enjoy it. good solid death metal, devil metal as they call it. And moving on, we got Throne of the Unlight, more Marduk. I'm just like I say, I'm trying to increase my increase my collection of Marduk albums. Because everything I've heard of theirs I like, and it's always nice to hear the evolution, the progression of a band's sound and how they do things. Yeah, so that's that. Then we got Working for the Devil, another one from the Lurking Corpses. Like I say, I really enjoyed everything I've heard of theirs, so I want to pick some of theirs up to add to my collection. And that is the CD portion of the proceedings. And now we're going to move on to the vinyls. Sorry if this table shakes a little bit. We've got Dismember, Blood Drips Raw. Honestly, uh, I don't think I ordered that. So that's very cool that I got that. I don't know if that was a freebie or if that was something. It's definitely not not just packing material. Well, let's go through this a little bit, show you the vinyl. Try and pull it out there very delicately. I'm not going to pull it out completely, but you can kind of see how that's looking. It's double LP, double vinyl, red, very cool. And here is the back cover. So thanks, J-Dawg. Very cool. I very much appreciate it. I'm sorry you have to listen to my corny impression. They're not actually mine. It's more of one from the Mersh from the Revenge of the Sis. He does tremendous impressions. Fantastic, wonderful. Anyhow, so I got this. This is an appropriate transition as the weird travels on by deceased. It got this one as well. This we're running pretty long here, so I don't want to really waste everyone's time pulling the albums out. But we also got Surreal Overdose from Deceased. Again, like I say, I usually like to pick stuff up. It's not really like an OCD thing, but it's more of a just just a formatting thing. If I have collection of something, like mostly it's CDs, but if I can find stuff on LP on vinyl, then I'll pick it up. And a few of these things they didn't have on Hells didn't have on CD, so I just pick them up on vinyl. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like I'm gonna lose my mind because it's all gonna be on CD and I can't have it this way. It's gonna ruin my collection. No, it's the music is the music. If I can hear the tunes, that's the main thing. That's what matters. And we have Cyanide from Chicago, A Descent into Hell. And then I'm also gonna grab the other one that I got, Hell's Rebirth. This one is killer. I J-Dawg was really hyping this one up, and it was definitely worth the hype. Tremendous death metal. This band is awesome. I kind of wish I had discovered them earlier, but it's better late than never. And they were really good. I enjoyed all this stuff, so I picked it up. And he's a fantastic salesman, but he also knows his shit. So it's definitely worth picking up. Then the other one I got is Supernatural Addiction. Again, the dog was hyping this one up, but for good reason. There's the back cover. And this one I'll pull out because you got a gatefold. Check that out. You can see all that. And then we got the album. Look at that. I think they call that Coke bottle green or something others. Splatter. Very cool. Can't wait to spin that. So that's that one. Let me put it away, and then I can show you what is the last thing on the list here, and that is Spider, the Babe and Bat's Blood. This they're more of a punk metal hybrid. I've seen them a couple times. They're a fun act. It was kind of one of these things where I was going to get it on CD, but I said, no, I'll get this on vinyl because they're such a their look and the style, the aesthetic all that sort of thing. It just screamed that I should have a vinyl of this. It's almost kind of like I remember back in the day when I was a kid, I used to see Black Death's album on vinyl, and had I known what a what a unique find that was back in the day, I probably would have begged, pleaded, and borrowed and bartered with my parents. Oh, please, 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 let me get this. And they're like, what's this shit? What do you want us to get? This looks insane. Why do you want this? But I never got it, but I always remember seeing that in the record store, and that would have been kind of a cool thing to have nowadays. Kind of a weird eclectic piece of my collection have. But yeah, so anyhow, that's that. Bottom line, Hell's Headbanger rules. J-Dawg, thank you very much. Thank you, Hells. This is a tremendous. I'm gonna have plenty of spinning to do, listen to the music. So yeah, that's that. Hope everyone enjoyed this. Appreciate everybody watching the channel, the little bit that people do. I get like shits get like 50, 60 views, which again, in the grand scheme of things isn't much, but I appreciate all of it. I don't, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that dumb stuff that they tell you to do. If you like it, if you like the content, if you feel like doing that, I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's that. That's my collection update. That was my unboxing. Once again, thank you, Hells. Thank you, J-Dawg. Hellsheadbangers.com. Go check out Eddie's channel, Realms of Metal. He and I are in the opening stages, if you will, the formative stages of planning something. So hopefully we'll have some sort of collaboration coming up in the near future. Not too near, but it's not going to be tomorrow or anything like that. But we're planning on doing something. So hopefully be kind of something fun to do. Not so much metal related, but just fun thing to do. Kind of common interests and talking to him that we have. So it'd be fun to do, and I hope everyone will appreciate it. I just got to figure out this freaking technology thing. That's the main thing. Is like I said it before. I'll say it again. The hillbilly things work, but my understanding of technology is not. It's definitely real. So I'm trying as time goes on. But yeah, so do that. Go check out Morgan Red's channel. Go see one of my neighbors walking by. It's the middle of the day here. And yeah, that's that. So, as I say, stay sick, stay heavy, stay brutal. Upon impact, always tuck your chin and don't forget to breathe. And we will catch you on the next one. Later.